Hello and welcome back to the Perth to Paisley podcast, episode number 163, where Hearts are guaranteed third place and will be playing in the group stages or group leagues of European football next season. Whether it will be the conference or the Europa League, we will find out at a later date. To be honest, that's the main focal point of this episode, because fuck the actual result that happened at the weekend. We have to go through it because we're contractually obliged to. But as ever, I am Daniel McIver, joined by Adam Kennedy. Adam, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks, mate. Looking forward to competing in the group leagues or whatever the hell you
Yep,
just
group
called them.
leagues, I dare fucking can. The leagues.
All right. After perhaps sealing third spot in the most underwhelming way possible.
Yep.
But listen, job done. Happy days. Europe to look forward to. An exciting time. Yeah, pretty pleased on the whole. How are you?
I'm doing good. As I said last week, this is my week off, start of it. So
Nice.
absolutely loving life. We are, as you will notice, because this is being released on Tuesday, we're recording a day early because Adam's got way more on than me. So therefore we've just moved stuff about the place. But
Sorry, team.
it means that actually all the important stuff we had to speak about has already happened. So we might as well have recorded today. Just
Yeah.
to get sorted.
Nice, yeah. It
Right?
might become, something in the future. We don't really
Yeah,
know.
who
We just
knows?
make up as we go along. It's nothing really that serious. It's just a daffy podcast that we made, and here we are.
Here we are indeed. And for some reason, you're all listening to it. But as
God knows
ever,
why.
we start with excellent segments like this, or why, around the grounds, where we
Nice.
will cover everybody else
What are you
from
trying to say?
weekend. I'm
Took
trying
me
to
a
say
while. It took me a while
that
to come up with around the grounds.
I'm saying that if you listen to us for the first 80 episodes, what were he doing? It's even more of a shambles than it currently is. But talking about shambles, we'll start at Motherwell as Livingston
Nice.
were finally relegated out of the Scottish top flight as they lost heavily 4-1 to Motherwell at Fir Park, one of which was an absolute raker by Sam Nicholson.
Beauty.
Well in, Sam. Aberdeen ensured safety finally mathematically. Well done them as they beat Craig Levein St Johnstone 1-0. It's a worrying time for those in Perth. And finally, in the bottom six, the greatest result you've ever seen as Hibernian fell 2-1 to Ross County. Apparently, Don Cowie just knows how to beat teams from Edinburgh, as that just seems to be the run of the way up there. And
And
then,
maybe
of
Glasgow
course,
as well. Celtic haven't been up yet.
very true. And then in the only other game on the Saturday, apart from ourselves, St Mirren, basically we're just like, come on, Nick, we're still here. We're still here. We're still coming for you, as they travelled to Dundee and beat Tony Docherty, who has deserved his Manager of the Year recommendation. I'm saying it. I'm saying it. Despite all the abuse that he's been getting, what a job he's done. Bad
I
weekend to
second that.
suggest it, but he has just been beaten 3-1, but it's fine. And then on the Sunday, the only remaining game, which was actually the most important game of the weekend for us, as Rangers eventually ran out comfortable winners against 10-man Kilmarnock at Ibrox 4-1, as well as Motherwell, meaning we have clinched third place in European group stage football. We will get to that in a wee bit. But generally, what did you make of the other games?
Um, not too many surprises, I think, to be
No.
honest. I expected Aberdeen to beat St Johnstone at Pittodrie, given Saints just can't score goals. I know they won at Pittodrie not that long ago, but I think they've scored something like 9 goals away from home in the league this season, which is
Jesus
just
Christ.
abysmal. In terms of Ross County Hibs, I was in two minds as to whether Ross County would beat Hibs, but there's Hibs just having a wonderful win at McDermott Park last week. And then to go up to Dingwall and somehow get beat just probably sums up why they're in the bottom six, because
Yep.
they're really inconsistent and on their day a terrible football team. Elsewhere in the bottom six, Livingston's 6-year stay comes to an end. I initially was going to say angry at Livy being in the top tier. I don't think that's the right word. I was
Frustrated.
bemused, yeah, at Livy being here. But now I'm actually kind of sad because
Yeah, I get that.
I like Davy Martindale, and he just looks like a man that's just, I don't know, his family's kind of left him behind. Like you almost want to kind of take care of him, and I don't know. I can't see Livy getting rid of him. Maybe Marvin Bartley will join him back again after obviously leaving Queen of the South. We don't know. Um, really surprised with the other top six result on the Saturday. Did not see St Mirren going up to Dens and winning that as comfortably as they did.
Yeah.
I think that's perhaps Stephen Robinson just really angry at the PFA, going, "Well,
Yeah.
you've nominated fourth, you've nominated sixth, I'm sat in fifth, so surely I'm worthy of a shout." Yeah, I think he was just kind of throwing up middle fingers and V signs to everybody at the PFA after the weekend. And Sunday's sole game was the ultimate win-win, really, to be honest. Either Kelly got something and it'd be quite funny to laugh at Rangers because they're terrible, or Rangers do what they're expected to do, and that's blow Kilmarnock out the water, albeit aided by a red card. And yeah, secure us European group stage football, albeit in the most underwhelming fashion possible. So yeah, a regular weekend of the cinch, a crazy weekend of the cinch, and just a bit sad, really, that now we've got three effectively meaningless fixtures to end the season upon. That's kind of how I feel. I think like most of it's just turning our attention to who occupies the relegation playoff place, and I think it'll be St Johnstone. So there you go.
Yeah, I would pretty much agree with that. I think because we've just got three random dead rubbers ahead of us, just play the youth and play Craig Gordon up front for a laugh to see if we can score. I want that to happen because it literally doesn't matter what the scores are. We could win
No.
10-0, we could lose 10-0, and it doesn't matter. So let's just have fun. Let's just do random shit.
It's interesting that you say that though, because like, how do you approach these games? Like,
I
obviously, I'd
know.
love for us to get as many points as we possibly could and try and close the gap as best we can. I think the big one for me is probably the last day.
Yeah.
I fancy Celtic in the Old Firm next week pretty strongly. So that would then mean that the title slipped away from Rangers. I think for this squad, this collective, the group of players, even for us as a club, I think mentally we've got to get one over Rangers because our record against them in recent years has been nowhere near good enough.
Insanely bad.
Terribly, terribly bad. So I think I would like we're as well kind of setting targets because ultimately if we don't reach them, it doesn't really matter. But I'd quite like to see us go for 7 points,
Mhm.
at least 7 points within these three. A draw in Paisley, I don't think is a terrible result, albeit if we can win
Yeah.
there, great. And then beat Dundee and Rangers at Tiny would be a great way to round off the season for me.
Agreed. Are you wanting to see youth being brought in? I saw a lot of people question we'll get to it obviously, but question the Scott Fraser substitution at the weekend because it's like, why not just give that to like a James Wilson or something to just be
I
like, here's
I
a
think we should
random
be. I
game.
think we should be questioning the Scott Fraser signing, never
Yeah,
mind the
true.
substitution.
Yeah, very true.
I think it says a lot when we've signed two players up for next year in the same position. It just seems like a real waste of time, to be honest. Now,
Yeah.
we needed somebody to fill that void. He's coming and failed to do so. So that's that's maybe one kind of when you used to do stuff at school and it would be like two stars and a wish.
Yeah.
I think that would be our wish that Scott Fraser just hadn't bothered to come up the
Yeah.
road because it's just wasted his time, it's
Yeah,
wasted our time,
it's not
everybody's
even
time.
like, listen, sometimes you get bad signings, right? Who go, oh, fuck, they've really impacted us because they've not performed in a way. It's like our season wouldn't have changed an iota if Scott Fraser hadn't signed,
No,
in positive or negative.
I mean, I'd say it jokingly, but I honestly would rather Aaron Fraser. And I think if you'd slipped him in there, nobody really would have noticed, bar the kind of hair colour. I don't mean to be disrespectful as well to Charlton. I'm just having a look here. This is a side that finished 16th out of 24 in the third tier of English football. And you know it's bad when Charlton fans go, "Oh, thank God, we've actually found a suitor for Scott
Yeah.
Fraser." So I don't. I really. This wasn't on my kind of episode
I was like, I
163
did not
bingo card
expect
to be
it.
coming in for Scott Fraser early. I do apologise, but you've brought up the point, so we may as well. Like that's one of the few negatives that I've got with this season, and yeah, so let's just go
It
for
shows
players
you how
that
good a
perform in our
season,
league.
shows you how good a season it's been if that's one of the negatives.
But it's strange though because surely you would do absolutely everything to try and earn a deal with Hearts if you're that desperate to come up
Yeah,
the road.
yeah.
Now what's going to happen? Like, are Dundee United, newly promoted Dundee United, going to go, hey, Scotty
Maybe,
boy, it's time for a reunion? Or,
maybe. That's a good point, actually. I never even thought of that.
I don't know, like, I'm trying to think for him as well as us. Like, we're not interested, but where
Mm,
will he end up?
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just dragging out some time for you.
Well, where he ended up alongside 22 other Hearts individuals was Celtic
Nice.
Park at the weekend.
Nice.
As yes, Hearts travelled through a Celtic Park, a team that unbelievably has been quite good again for us this season, as we have taken 6 points from a possible nine.
That was never going to last.
It was never going to last. However, the team that was hoping to last it, that Stephen Naismith picked, according to the BBC, was in a 3-5-2, and I'd actually agree with that, which is probably a first ever for the BBC. As Xander Clark was in goals, it was a back three of Stephen Kingsley, Kai Rose, and Frankie Kent. Wing backs of Alex Cochrane, Dexter Lembakisa. A three of Benny Beningame, Cammy Devlin, and George Grant, with Kenny Vargas and Lawrence Shankland leading the front two. What did you make of it?
Uh, Not overly surprised to see us obviously choose a three, given their work there last time. Am I right in saying it's three changes from that day?
I
Trying to think
can't
who would
remember
have
who
started.
played.
Aidan Denham would have started in midfield, I
Yep,
think.
Alan
Alan
Forrest
Neuenhoff as
started.
well, and Alan Forrest, I
Yeah,
think.
aye,
Off the top of my head for Vargas, Devlin, and
Benny. No,
Benny.
Benny played.
Sorry, George Grant.
George Grant.
So yeah, again, saw that wasn't overly surprised. My concern probably would be the form that James Forrest is in on that left hand side up
Yeah,
against Dexter Lembakisa at right wing back, because Dexter's been, I think, all right for Hearts, but this is a different kettle of fish with regards to his Hearts career. I don't think he didn't play at Ibrox, did he? It was Atkinson, wasn't it?
yeah, I think it
So
was
this is probably
Atkinson.
the
Aye,
biggest arena that he's played in for Hearts
yeah.
anyway, up against the toughest opposition, up against a side that are looking to win the league probably in the next couple of games. I think they will. Um, and up against, yeah, just a tough afternoon's work against a bloke that's basically saved their title challenge
Yeah.
with a performance at the weekend. So yeah, that was my only concern, really. That and Shankland not getting enough service. But in terms of the selection and actually the first minute of the game, I don't think we could have had many complaints at that, really, to be honest.
Well, exactly, because as you say, the first chance of the game comes within the first 60 seconds, and it
It's a
is
great
for
minute.
Hearts. It was an amazing minute. What a time to be
The
alive.
the following 89 were a tough watch, but that was a great minute.
That was class. As Shankland finds Lembakisa in the Celtic 18-yard box. His cutback to Shankland is a wee bit wayward, but Shankland manages to get onto it. However, his shot is deflected wide. Now, I thought I was just going to ask you your opinion on that wee chance. However, today on Twitter, there's been like a lot of hullabaloo, mainly from Rangers fans, as at the very start of this
Fuck over.
move, Kenny Vargas plays it to Mbakisa, however, goes down under a challenge. And whilst he's on the ground, I think it's Callum McGregor, I'm not totally sure who it is that kind of interacts with him, jumps over Vargas and then appears to land studs down on his leg, which Rangers Twitter picked up and was like, see, SFA just wanting to keep Celtic strong going into the old firm and stuff like that. I'll be honest, when I was watching it in real time, I didn't notice it. However, I've seen that podcast. I'm really sorry that I can't remember your name, but it's like former refs. Like their thing
Oh
is
yeah, another one you're on about.
it's
Again,
something
don't know
about a
the name.
whistle, I think. I can't mind.
I
Apologies.
don't know, mate.
However, they
I know
made
what
the
you're
point
referring
that
to, though.
they are stunned that there wasn't at least a stop for a VAR check on a potential red card.
No, I'm not. He plays in green and white hoops. So that's all you need to
Oh,
know.
believe me, we will get to it in a wee bit.
Uh,
An absolutely insane decision making
oh,
from an SFA in the
I
midfield.
know the one you're referring to already. I mean, it just to me, this is what I really hate. Like with regards to the run up to an old firm, it's just the whole tit for tat and like
Yeah.
nonsense. Like they pick out every single minute detail And this was the big thing for me as well, McIver, because we've heard recently about our record against Celtic this season, which has been great. And look, 2 wins in a season against them is unheard of.
Yeah.
But the one crumb of comfort that I took from the weekend was that it stopped every single moon howler, every single conspiracy theorist going, "Oh well, the Diets they'll roll over to Rangers, like
Aye.
they turn it into Barcelona against us." Like, give it a rest.
Isn't the thing that
Honestly,
it's like in the last for our entire lifetimes, the last 4 decades, we've always had a better record against Rangers than we have against Celtic?
it's pathetic. It's embarrassing. Like, people just look to just point blame and like at everybody else bar their own. I
Yeah.
mean, Celtic's idea of a conspiracy, they've they've won something like what, 11 of the last 12 titles?
Yeah. How
Countless
shit a
other
conspiracy is it?
countless other cups. I mean, if it was that much of a conspiracy, surely you wouldn't be as anywhere as remotely as successful as you are.
I know the SFA are an incompetent institution. I don't think they'd be that incompetent, where if they had an entire conspiracy to stop
I don't
you
think
doing
they're that
well.
incompetent by choice.
Yeah,
Put it that
exactly.
way.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong? Like, I don't understand. It's just people's. There always has to be somebody to blame in
Yeah.
this day and age. We can't. God forbid we blame Celtic. So let's blame Celtic's opponents or Rangers' opponents for not trying hard enough, or like give it a rest. So
Yeah.
hopefully it shuts a good few of them up because I just find it so repetitive, so boring, and so tiring every
Agreed.
single season.
Very much agreed. However, maybe part of the conspiracy was Dexter Lembekisa's inability to find a pass straight through to Shankland.
That pass to Shankland, sorry for the chance, is horrendous. Shankland does really well, but
He
it's
does.
just a good block by Carter Vickers, who's head and shoulders the best defender in this league
Yeah,
by quite a distance. So, I, listen, had that gone in, I would have loved to have heard the crowd because the crowd were angry enough at the chance.
yeah.
Never mind, had we scored said chance.
However, unfortunately, we didn't. But you're maybe thinking, right? It's a good start. Is this going to be like last time? No, because 4 minutes in, a corner's whipped in that is punched away by Xander Clark to the edge of the box where Rio Hatate is stood. He crosses it in,
In acres of space.
a lot of space. Kyogo Furuhashi gets in the gap that the ball makes its way into, heads it past Xander Clark into the back of the net. Now, immediately you see Xander shouting for something, and I was like, I don't know, he must be claiming offside. Then, when you see it, it is actually quite tight. However, then you can see that actually Xander's entire right leg is just playing Kyogo on. It kind of showed up a lot of people who don't understand the rules,
Yeah.
like, which was slightly embarrassing. But listen, he is onside. It's just we're not alert enough to notice that one of the guys who is like their Morelos, who just always scores against us.
Got a ridiculous record against us. I think Laurie said in commentary that's now 10 goals against Hearts.
Yeah,
And
for his
when you
after his
consider
second, yeah,
considering he made his debut at Tynecastle and off the bench in the fixtures that we've played against them since, that's a pretty healthy return.
yeah,
Um, it's just really annoying because Rio Hatate, for me, I think Callum McGregor's a fine footballer, but Rio Hatate is top as well.
yeah,
And for somebody of that ability to have that much space on the edge of the area is a real frustration. A lovely pick out, but again, like Kyogo's not the tallest.
yeah,
So when he's winning that header, and albeit it's a fine header, you just wonder, like, it's such a crowded, congested area as well that the pass from Hatate has to be ridiculous, but
yeah,
it's ridiculous that he's being allowed to play that pass. And then Kyogo obviously nods home. Poor marking. As you say, we're not alert. It's just a poor awareness. But to me, like, that's probably the most frustrating thing. That it's a preventable goal. It's an early goal. And then when the scores come through, you're thinking, oh my God, like this could be anything they want to make it when you're 1-0 down after 4 minutes through there. We've seen it countless times where they get such a lift and such encouragement from an early goal. Similarly, we are down in the dumps after such an early goal that I was just left thinking, please do not let this be a 4 or 5. Anything worse than kind of 3 or 4 is a battering. And I really did worry that it was going to be I mean, it still was in the end a seasonal Parkhead pumping, but I think we got off lightly, to be honest, given that start.
Yeah, definitely. And we actually did stay in the game for a wee bit. I kind of judged that the first 20 minutes, I actually thought we were all
We're
right.
pretty good. Yeah.
In the 11th minute, our kind of other big chance of the half comes as Kai rolls next to the ball and finds Shankland, who plays it to Grant on this near side, who then drives a low cross into the box to the on-Russian Cammy Devlin and staying in that role he was in Kilmarnock as being a far ahead. I don't know. No idea, but does get an effort away. However, it's actually quite well saved by Joe Hart and goes out for a corner. But yeah, exactly.
Good save, but I think Cammy should do a bit better. Sorry to cut you off.
My point was going to be about that. I think we're still very early on in this Cammy Devlin development.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. I think, it's not straight down the middle, but it's closer to Hart than he and we would have liked. So it's a comfortable enough stop for Joe Hart in the end, annoyingly. But encouraging to see him get forward, like you say. I mean, that Rugby Park was excellent. Celtic Park, really good. Again, just all the bigger fixtures in this league and beyond that he's I mean, he'll be absolutely delighted that we're securing European group stage football. This will be a chance to show the world what he can do. So yeah, I'm loving this new Cammy Devlin, to be honest.
100%, as am I. However, that was kind of it for the positivity of the first half in terms of actual chances. We were doing well to keep the ball, and defensively, especially in the first half, I actually thought we were actually all right. However, it's easy to do that when you're a couple of goals down, because apart from Carter Vickers heading over from a corner, the 21st minute comes and Matt O'Reilly is in quite a deep position inside our half, reasonably centrally. However, he just plays a ball forward over the top from deep. Kyogo gets ahead of Frankie Kent. Clark's kind of in no man's land because I think he assumes Frankie Kent's going to be able to deal with it, and he just puts the ball past Clark to make it 2-0 to Celtic. Honestly, at that point, you're kind of like, right, the game's dead. We're not going to come back for 2-0 down inside 20 minutes at Parkhead. And it's just frustrating.
It's frustrating, but similarly, it's a phenomenal pick out from Matt O'Reilly.
It's an unbelievable.
I mean, it's an inch perfect pass.
Maybe if he was playing more of them, he'd be Player of the Year. We'll get to that later, though.
Or he could have secured that move to, where was it, Atletico Madrid in January, or Inter Milan in January, or whoever it was. I was going to be critical of Kairos, but I don't think I really can. I just think it's but then Rose kind of loses Kyogo.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It doesn't really track him. Like it's over Kent. It's between the two, really. I feel like how the ball's played, Rose is better equipped to deal with that. Am I being harsh?
See, I think Kent's better equipped to deal with it.
But I think it's over him in a flash before he knows it. No?
Aye, but Kent's the only one near Kyogo in any... I think Rose just goes, this is Kent's.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I'm going mental. I'm going to get a freeze for you
I just thought Kairos was snoozing a wee bit, to be honest. Hold on. With losing Kyogo. What, are you going to have a look at the goal as we're recording here?
I'm going to get a still frame at the moment it happens. Right.
To me, I just think that Kairos is not aware of, and it's a brilliant run from Kyogo, don't get me wrong, but he's not aware of him in behind. What's that face for? I now
understand what you mean a wee bit more. I didn't actually realise that by the end of it, Rose is as close to Kyogo as he ends up being. However, I still think that Kent should have more awareness to be. He's still the centre defender, and Kyogo is central when the ball's played. Rose has to kind of run across because Kent has just got his positioning wrong.
But he loses him easily.
He does, but I think that's potentially because Rose is like, oh shit, I didn't think I was going to be in this position where suddenly I have to do this.
Put it this way, I mean, it's a wonderful ball, an outstanding run, and
Yeah, it's a good goal.
like the efforts, the effort's a weird one because it's not even like it's all that powerful. Like
He
it's
weirdly
enough,
places it, if
yeah,
anything.
it's enough to beat Clark, but I think it's just a weird but good finish. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah, totally. I fully agree. And at that point, you're just kind of like, right, okay, as you say, let's try and not
I'm
make this
thinking,
a
please
battery.
do not be 5, 6, 7. I
Yeah,
really
exactly.
get out of here with kind of, I don't know, some form of confidence intact.
Yeah, definitely. 5 minutes later, Kingsley heads just wide from a corner. It's quite a good ball, actually. I noticed we were going
Very good
really
ball.
deep far post with all our corners, which was
Yeah,
interesting.
something that, well, I mean, I guess it kind of proved beneficial when we played them through there previously
Yeah,
with Shankland, wasn't it? So no surprise that we're kind of kind of trying that again. And yeah, I think I said it. Was it maybe the last time we played them, or I said it somewhere that I don't think Celtic are that big in
yeah.
terms of a team. Like Carter Vickers, I've said is the
He's
best
like
centre
the
half in the league.
exception.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like him and he's I don't know Cameron Carter Vickers and the Seven Dwarfs really
yeah,
defending the set
basically.
pieces. So
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just annoying that we can't really make that count. But to be honest, mate, I think if you looked at the 90 minutes over the piece, we had a couple opportunities early doors, but if I'm being honest, there's probably only really one person that merits pass marks.
well, we're about to get to him for the next few points because within 90 seconds of each other, Greg Taylor shoots from the edge of the box, which is held by Xander Clark. Xander then makes a really good save after O'Reilly hits an effort for the edge of the box on the volley, but then probably one of, if not the best save of the afternoon, comes right on the stroke of half time as the ball's kind of found its way to Kyogo on the penalty spot, who just spins on a dime and smashes it towards Xander's top right hand corner. But somehow Clark gets across and not only saves it, he pushes it out for a corner as well.
Unbelievable save.
Yeah.
That's right up there. I think.
Craig
I think.
Gordon-esque, one might say.
Shut up. I think the Hearts hierarchy will be devastated that the Player of the Year was obviously last week because that probably
Yeah,
would
no.
take save the season. To be
Yeah,
honest, I wonder
probably.
if Xander's just asking to get that plaque kind of
Yeah.
re-engraved, and it be re-awarded because it's an unbelievable stop. Several stops were top class to be honest, and yeah, like I say, this flattered us. I think 3 is the best way that I could put it, really. Which is frustrating, but that shouldn't detract from what's been a successful season.
Mhm.
We've got that hoodie off our back. We're going to Celtic Park and winning previously. We'll split them at Tynecastle, so it's not all doom and gloom when it comes to facing Celtic. I think if you had predicted anything other than a routine Celtic win, given they're chasing down the title, given they're aggrieved at back-to-back defeats against us, given performances, refereeing conspiracies, the blend of all of that, you'd have been absolutely off your rocker to predict anything other
Yeah.
than a comfortable Celtic win. I think it just happens every single season we go through there and get absolutely demolished. So we hadn't had that yet, and it was long overdue, sadly. But it's I it could have been worse. Is the
Yes.
way I view it.
Absolutely. To be honest, the second half kind of just petered out. There wasn't many.
As you'd expect.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe we actually should earn some praise
Yeah, we
for
shut
that.
up shop quite well.
Very easy to crumble, like I say, having conceded after what 4 minutes,
Yeah,
and then 2-0 down on 21, 22,
21.
21. Yeah, it's a tall task. But yeah, I think they kind of got the impression that it was done as well. Maybe just looking to the old firm next week,
Yeah,
and maybe they are taking it easy on us for a change. Who
yeah,
knows?
maybe. Who knows?
It's funny how
Um,
these things turn around.
we did actually have a couple of chances. A ball is played over the top to Kenny Vargas. However, Hart smothers it before Vargas can end up really getting on the end of it. And then,
And again, that's pulled back for offside, but
yeah,
it just,
exactly. It wouldn't have counted anyway.
but that kind of chance basically just sums up our afternoon, really. I think it's a
Yeah,
poor first touch for Vargas, and before you know it, Hart's basically down his throat. So he's got
yeah,
nowhere really to go. He tries to kind of poke it past him, which I don't mind, but ends up just battering off him.
yeah.
So yeah, annoying that one, but like you say, offside anyway, so doesn't doesn't really change in the grand scheme of things.
One of the other two main talking points of the half was another Xander Clark amazing save, and it's actually a double save. Hatate again, much like Kyogo was at the end of the first half, is on the penalty spot and shoots from very close range as a result, which Xander manages to kind of palm out, which just ends up at the feet of O'Reilly, whose shot is then again blocked with the sole of his foot to go out for a corner. It's kind of up to you, which is a better save, like the double of that at quick succession or Kyogo's one. But Clark is, listen, I think we were all right, right? Especially for a game that meant nothing to us, that we've got nothing to play for. It would have been very easy to just be like, oh, fuck this. Gotta be arsed. Just let them do whatever they want. And it's 5-0 at half time. But we created some things. We were fine.
I think maybe as a club we've kind of viewed it like that. I think for a player you view it slightly differently. And maybe you ought to think, well, Celtic, with the worldwide reach that they have, with the interest from all over the globe, if people are viewing their players, here's a chance for me to perform against Celtic so that
Yeah.
I could maybe get a move off the back of it. I think we really did everything that we could have, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Agreed.
I thought we're okay. I think as a player, you maybe kind of try your damnedest, and you might think, well, I quite fancy the challenge of playing for Hearts against Celtic or against Rangers as opposed to taking on, with all due respect, St Johnstone and Livingston.
Yeah.
You never know who's watching. I think had this game been on the Sky cameras, maybe players try that a little bit
Yeah.
harder as well. But I don't know. I just feel like individually, these are the games that you really want to impress in, not just for your club and for the fans that are going through or whatever, but even from a selfish point of view, it'd be naive for me and you to think that these players are going to stay at Hearts for the entirety of their
Yeah.
careers. So you want them to ultimately perform at their very best because it increases our chances of getting a result, and we sell them for profit. Everybody's happy. We look to then replace. Cool, but I don't know. It just had a real flat feel, as though it was kind of. It was almost like Celtic had already won the league and we were heading
Yeah.
through there.
That is the thing. I think also there is, I definitely agree with that, right? And you'll see documented instances of players just like having won their games out of nowhere because they're like, this is a chance I have to impress kind of thing.
100%.
But I do also think there is just like human nature to take into account of it, where, as you say, like the fan base, the club is just kind of like, yeah, listen, we're taking it. I watched both Naismith and it was Frankie Kent doing the media before it
All right,
on the
okay.
Thursday, and they both really contradicted themselves. With like Brian McLaughlin asked a question to both of them individually, being like, "Listen, with all due respect to Kilmarnock, third is probably done regardless of the result that you guys get at the weekend. How do you feel about it?" And Naismith starts off being like, "No, no, listen, we've been in situations before where we thought we had it secured, so therefore, no, we need to. Every game matters. We've not got it yet. It's not mathematically done." But then, in the same breath, he then basically was like, "I am going to use these next few games to kind of experiment for stuff for next season and all that." And Frankie Kent was asked about his first year at Hearts, and it was like, again, how are you feeling about like getting third and stuff? And he's like, "Oh, listen, it's not guaranteed yet. I'm really happy with my first year. It's gone better than even I could expect, but we don't know." And then he went, "And I'm also really looking forward, like group stage European football. That's what I came here for." So I do think there's an element of the players, understandably, just kind of being like us, being like, "Yeah, listen, professional pride and all that." But if you concede after 3 minutes to Celtic, it's kind of like,
Let's just
well,
have fun.
listen, aye, like the games that we've, it's not like it was in December or whenever it was we came to Parkhead last time. It was like, right, fuck, we're 1-0 down, but Killie are beating Dundee, so they'll leapfrog us. Like, I do understand it to a degree.
I would love to know who in the Hearts hierarchy has made it abundantly clear that we do not talk about sealing third place.
Yeah, no.
And then their reaction once Brian McLaughlin and his peers have buttered them up, to then like their face just change and their head just go into their hands as Naismith and Frankie Kent are coming out what they're coming out with. Yeah. They're damned if they do, they're damned
Yeah,
if they
totally,
don't,
totally.
is the way I see it. Like
Fun
if
fact
they
for you, by the way.
if they come out and say, well, we're underdogs, they get blasted by everybody. If they come out and say, yeah, we're gonna sweep Celtic aside, not a problem,
Yeah,
then you know what it's like. As soon as that full time whistle goes, there'll be Celtic fans that are just pouncing up on the
100%.
comments, quote tweets up flying aplenty. So there's there's no real win as far as we're concerned. And yeah, what can we really say? Like we lost a game we were expected to lose. We've finished in a position that people expect us to finish in. Like, cool.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just going to say the last other interesting thing from the Frankie Kent press conference was that he revealed he voted for Butland because you're not allowed to obviously vote for your own team.
Ah, okay, teammate. Yeah,
So
probably the fair vote for
yeah, he
me.
was just like, I'm going with Butland. I just think he's made a big impact. But it was really funny because the reporter went, I assume you voted for your captain? And Kent just went really serious and was like, we're not allowed to vote for our own team players, actually.
Oh,
It was
so that's you
like,
tell whoever asked that daft
exactly,
question. I
exactly.
know what it's
Well,
like to ask a daft question. Don't worry about
speaking, yeah, you definitely do. Documented on
that.
this
Thanks,
show.
mate. Yeah, thanks.
Speaking about the guy that he can't vote for, what the fuck
Cheeky
is he doing
bastard.
here? In the 85th minute, the final action of the game, a corner swung in by Louis Palmer, and Lawrence Shankland just catches the ball. It somehow is not picked up by Kevin Clancy, even though you just see Shankland
I
shoulders drop and just be like,
please,
oh, for fuck's sake.
please don't. I don't you know what Shankland's trying to do to like
I
avoid the
genuinely
fact
just
that it's
think,
abundantly clear that
yeah, he
it's
doesn't
hit his
try.
hand.
He doesn't. He just goes,
Yeah,
oh, fuck.
it like accepts it and
Yeah.
just kind of falls to the ground and goes, "Oh shit!" Kind of wanting the ground to swallow him up.
Yeah. And then, yeah,
I,
goes to a
Mackay,
penalty. Matt Ryan
yeah,
scores.
yeah, I'm glad that you skipped on because I was about to go into another rant about referees and VAR and the fact that it ruins the experience. The officials are too reliant on the technology and that it's an absolute shambles. So yeah, well done.
I thought VR had a really good outing at Ibrox yesterday as we record.
Great.
I thought he got everything spot on.
I was about to say, why is that? Because it's beneficial to us,
No, I
or
just
just
thought it was
generally?
one of those instances where it could have gone, like, it kind of, everybody could have lost the run of themselves because there was quite a lot of checks. But I felt every check was fair and came to the right conclusion.
I spoke about this on the radio at the weekend. To me, like, my annoyance with VAR is when you go to the games, it's shit. You're
See,
blissfully
I
unaware
just
as to what
disagree with
happens.
that point, and I know
No,
that's an
I'm not
unpopular.
having
I'm
that.
just like, it does not affect my enjoyment of a game VR
Oh,
at all.
I hate it. See, when you're standing and you're just staring at the screen and it just says checking for possible penalty or checking for offside or checking for potential handball. It was a replay. I want to see what I want to make my mind up.
They can't
Somebody,
do that. They can't do
of course they
that.
can.
No,
They
they
should.
can't. No,
So
they can't.
you're telling me that fans of other clubs are texting you going, well, I hear it's a handball at Tynecastle. Like, what did you make of it? I don't know.
Do
I
you
can barely see it
remember?
from where I'm at.
Do
I
you
want to be able
remember?
to see a replay and give you a definitive answer. I don't want to have to wait till I'm back at the gaff to then watch the highlights again or the game again and then see like the instant and then come to a conclusion. What's the fun in that?
Who was it? I feel like in my head I've got Carlos Tevez involved, but there was an incident. This was pre VAR, by the way. It was like a team Tevez was playing. I might be wrong that it was Tevez was playing, and he was like, he was offside a mile, right? Ran through and
Right.
scored, and the lino hadn't flagged it, so the ref had given it as a goal, but accidentally the screens on the TV replayed it. So all the players are like pointing at the ref, being like, "Look, he's fucking offside," but he'd given it, so he couldn't go back because there wasn't VR. He'd given it, and I remember that was
You're
really
strengthening
controversial.
my case here. Like
No,
that.
no, that was an example of how it was a nightmare. Because it was like, yeah,
No.
you've just suddenly. But my point is, if it's something subjective, like a red card or the handball rule and stuff like that, the problem with putting it on the monitor is that suddenly there'll be pitch invasions if it goes against the general consensus of the
Good.
crowd.
These
No,
people, these officials should be held accountable. This is the whole point.
wait,
This is what
there's
this is
the
what I
slight
want to
difference
see.
between being held accountable and 18,000 folk rushing you at once.
I'm not saying they throw fists or kick them or that. I'm just saying that they should all gather around and rightfully slew the decision.
Imagine that. It's like you're allowed to pitch invade, but you just can't touch them. So just everyone is like getting as close as possible, screaming abuse at them.
That's what you see. You know, when we reach kind of this business end of the season, and clubs will try and warn like the fans to not invade the pitch before
Falkirk Stadium was
inevitably,
so funny.
inevitably invade the pitch anyway. Can we do that with like decisions? Be like, I
Yeah.
don't know, they just sit everybody down like 5 minutes before kickoff and go, regardless of the refereeing decisions, you will not storm the pitch to question the officials. I don't
Listen,
know. Something has to be done.
I want it made publicly clear that I do not endorse Adam Kennedy's view of attacking
That's
referees
fine. Listen,
of rushing games.
everybody's entitled to their opinion. For me, it ruins the experience. I want to see replays, and then I want to be charging down those stairs, bombarding the park, and holding Kevin Clancy accountable and various of these other jokers. It's not good enough.
Well, someone that was good enough was Heart of Midlothian's 23-24 season, as we have got third.
Woo!
Playing in Europe next season, guaranteed Conference League. We might be in the Europa League, depending on the draw. I've not even
Still annoys me that we didn't make the Europa against Zurich.
I know,
still,
it's
that's one of the
That's why
biggest
you don't
what
like
ifs
George Grant.
in
That's what it is.
100%. Ever since that game, I've just had it in from regardless of what he does. We battered them that night. We should have won that.
It's like, no, you die. You've done a booking.
Not rude, you bitch.
But yes, we don't know. I've not properly paid attention to like who we might play in the playoff for the Europa and stuff. I've seen group like potential pots.
Yeah, projected pots. Yeah.
We might be playing Newcastle. That's my fucking dream. Just Newcastle.
I want to go down. I want to go down to Old Trafford. That would be unbelievable.
Oh my God, yeah, I never even thought of Man United actually. Fuck,
that would be
true.
incredible.
But it's been a very successful season. Of course, we will do an episode at the end of the season, reviewing the season. But one individual who has been one of the main reasons we've been here. I'm on fire tonight.
You are on fire.
It's happening. It's Lawrence Shankland,
just like he was.
Exactly, was our sole representation at the PFA Awards last night, as we sit and record this. Actually, yes. So I'm just going to run through every award that was given. Obviously, the Player of the Year award is the main one that we care about. But just in case there's any that you have opinions on, I'm going to run through them all, and then I'll ask your thoughts. So, League Two Player of the Year was Gregor Buchanan for Stenhousemuir. If a Stenhousemuir player hadn't won it, I'd reckon what's happening.
Would have been a robbery. Yeah. So.
League One Player of the Year, former Jambo Callum Morrison won it, who is the top goal scorer in all leagues this season.
Changed man.
I know.
He seems to be a prolific marksman these days rather than a tricky wee winger.
Fair play to him. And then finally, in terms of the three men's leagues, Brian Graham won Player of the Season, who, I'll be honest, it kind of went under the radar for me that he's been that good. I didn't realise he's been that good this season.
What makes it even more impressive is that he's Thistle's women's manager as well. So just juggling absolutely everything to do with that club.
How old is he as well?
35, 36 or something.
This is how old he is. When you type him in, he's listed as a Scottish football coach. He's not even listed as an active player. Yeah, he's 36. He's 37 this year.
Can I just say, talking about Falkirk there, obviously their unbeaten run was put to threat by last week's Who Am I? Did you see that?
My dad messaged me just going, have you seen what your Who Am I's doing?
I had a wee browse and I was thinking, oh shit, it's the final day of obviously the championship was the Friday, but League 1 and 2. And I thought, I wonder if Falkirk, how Falkirk are getting on, if they can keep this unbeaten run alive. And then I just see Connor Salmon score twice. I was thinking, oh my God, a former Bairn as well to come back and haunt them. It would have been so poetic and so cinch had Falkirk lost their unbeaten run to Alloa on the last day in an effectively meaningless game because they'd pissed the league already at the expense of their former player who was utter dog.
Yeah, crazy.
Sadly, it wasn't to be. Although it's an unbelievable achievement.
Yeah, I'm happy it wasn't to be, especially because I know my mate Sean does the Falkirk TV commentary, and he got, as a Falkirk fan, he got to call that they are invincible. That's
Cool.
class. It's fair play.
That
And
is
speaking
cool.
about them, perfect segue. The manager of the year did go to Falkirk manager John McGlynn.
One of the nicest men in football. Really
He
pleased to
is.
see him win
I've
that.
not seen it. Like, no one has a bad word to
Lovely
say
man.
about McGlynn.
No, a lovely
What a
man.
hero.
I really wish that it would have worked out for John
I
McGlynn at
know.
Hearts. His
Style icon when
team's
he was at us. Mind the fucking
but
combinations he had when he was on
style
our
icon,
dugout.
that iconic picture of him at McDermott Park
It's
showing off
so
the suit
good.
and cap.
I love it.
So that you've got that style. I think his teams play nice football, so you've
Yeah.
got that style. And lovely man, really nice guy.
Well, delighted for him. Moving into the SWPL 1, it's very Rangers heavy, as Joe Potter, the Rangers manager, won Manager of the Year, Mia Macaulay of Rangers won Young Player of the Year, and Rachel Rowe of Rangers won Player of the Year. Rangers
Not
have just kind of
surprising.
been pretty unstoppable this season, and I will use this time to mention the fact that Hearts women have now achieved their best ever finish.
Yes, saw that fourth place.
Yep, just absolutely flying. Clearly the fourth best team in the league, which I know to outsiders will sound like a weird brag, but considering there is such a big three in the
The
women's
three
game.
others are all full time as well, are they not?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, both Rangers, Celtic, and or
Yeah.
sorry, yeah, all three with Glasgow City as well. So
It
yeah,
is genuinely impressive considering in 18
trying to
months
bridge the
ago,
gap.
yeah, 18 months ago, being a side that did incredibly well to get up to the top flight. However, we're struggling kind of in the lower ebbs. And then the transformation that Ava Olid and their players have done has been amazing to see. And we're into a cup final for the first time as well.
Yeah, of course, the day after the men's 20,
Yeah.
26th at Hampden, isn't it? So
Yep.
3 weeks yesterday, 2 weeks on Sunday.
Exactly. And then in the final three awards, the goal of the season, the stupidest award, because it goes to a fan vote. So it's always going to be an Old Firm, and it's
Yep.
Ravi Matonzo's equaliser for Rangers in the last
Good
Old
goal,
Firm.
to be fair. Good moment, but
It is, but
not
Marley
sure.
Watkinson's goal was better against us. If you're going to take a goal like that,
I think Connor Barron should have won it for the goal for
I
Aberdeen
think
at
that's
St
pretty
Mirren.
fair. Yeah, that's an
That's
absolute
an
raker.
absolute
Sam
well
Nicholson, just this
I
weekend,
know.
scored one. It's an absolute raker.
Oh,
But
got that in his
yes,
locker as well, does your Sam?
exactly. And then final two awards, the Young Player of the Year. You called it.
I did, yes,
Yep.
but I called a Kelly double, so
Yep.
Dell let me down. But yeah, David Watson, I don't think anybody can really argue.
Was it him that scored that goal against Aberdeen where he just kind of ran through
Yeah,
everybody?
was.
Aye, that was a class goal as
I
well.
think he's also scored against. He scored at Celtic Park as well. I want to say he scored against Rangers as well. So pops up with
Yeah,
some big
play to
goals,
him.
David Watson. Yeah,
Absolutely fair play to him.
enjoying a really good season.
And then finally, the award that we care about the most, the
Go
PFA
on.
Player of the Year. The nominees were, of course, Jack Butland, James Tavernier, Matt O'Reilly, and Lawrence Shankland. Again, actually, speaking about that press conference, Naismith went, it's an absolute disgrace if Shankland doesn't win it. He's far and away the best player this year. Like he's like, he
Nice,
just
like
clearly
that.
is. He just clearly is. And it is clear that his colleagues in the league feel the same. Despite, do Celtic fans not understand how this award is given out? Because they've been very angry today.
It's not like them to get
I
angry.
know
at
exactly.
something.
What a surprise. But yes,
Jesus.
Lawrence Shankland has won PFA for the year and became the first Hearts player to ever do so.
That is astonishing to
Which
me.
confused me because in my head I was like, Craig Gordon's won it 3 times, but that's the writers'
one.
Yeah, he didn't win the players'
yeah.
one.
Unbelievable. I think my dad had posted that it's the second non-Old Firm player since 1990 or something like that as well,
Fucking
which
hell.
is
Jesus.
incredible. Absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, I'm just pleased because I didn't think that he would get
Yeah,
it.
same.
I
Agreed.
thought that they would have found some way to give it to Matt O'Reilly or give it to Jack Butland.
Jane Goldfirm bias has benefited us in this instance because players will go, oh, the top goal scorer hasn't come from the Old Firm. That's impressive. We'll just give it to him automatically.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I feel like there would have been players that were top goal scorer in the league. Like, was Liam Boyce not the top goal scorer in the league with
I was
Ross
literally
County?
about to say, you make a good point. I think Boyce
So
won top goal scorer. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm trying to think of others. Adam Rooney, maybe with Aberdeen back in the day.
that's a good shout. Maybe
I don't
actually.
know. I'd need to dive deeper into it, but
Yeah,
I don't know, McIver. Maybe I hadn't really thought about it that way, to be honest. I just think that all the kind of I don't know. Maybe all the commotion surrounding Shankland, the fact that his name
yeah,
was virtually
true.
never out the press, and that everybody was desperate to see him sign for Rangers. Maybe that's a big factor that he's just the name on everybody's lips. So I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's very fair. But regardless, absolutely delighted for him. It's
Oh,
fully
chuff for him.
deserved. He's so clearly the best player in the league, and he's only a couple of goals away from reaching that insane 30 mark, which he will hopefully do this weekend.
That's a beautiful segue. But I was going to say to any kind of young players out there, the fact that Lauren Shankland was released by Aberdeen, went to Ayr,
Yes.
won the League
Yeah.
One Player of the Year, has now won the Premiership Player of the Year. Never give up.
He
Always chase
must
your
be the only
dreams.
player that's ever done that, by the way.
That's one for SPL stats, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Scott at Heart
Scott,
stats.
fuck it.
Any
Put down
chance?
whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Learn that.
Again, needs a deeper dive, but unbelievable achievement.
Yeah,
Really pleased for him.
it's remarkable. But yes, as I say, Dundee travel
Sorry
to
to cut you off
Tynecastle.
there.
No, you're fine. Dundee travel to Tynecastle in our penultimate home game of the season because we are, of course, away at St Mirren. How are you feeling about this one? We, as we have established, have fuck all to play for. Probably, if we're being honest with ourselves, Dundee also don't really have anything to play
I
for.
was going to say exactly that. I think the places are pretty much decided now.
Yeah. What are
What
you
I was going to
thinking?
say was when we were heading into the split, this was the game that we thought would finish third. I don't think we'd
Yeah.
quite worked out the maths that we
Yeah,
would
no, I
both
hadn't
us and Kelly
realised
would
it.
lose last
Yeah.
weekend. So yeah, a winnable game, one a game I'd like to see us win. But sadly, we're just at that stage where it doesn't really matter if we don't. Yeah, I think we will though. I think we've got too much quality for Dundee, and I think Dundee have not blown it as such, but certainly they've gifted us wins from commanded positions
Yeah.
twice this season, albeit they beat us at Dens, didn't they? The first league meeting.
God, yeah, August
Um,
25th.
that feels like a lifetime ago, by the way. This has been the
Crazy.
longest season in human history. But yeah, at Tynecastle and at Dens, I think certainly at Tynecastle they were 2 goals up. At Dens, I think they were 2-1 up. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah,
So
they went 1-0 up. We equalised. They then went 2-1 up. While
yeah,
Cameron scored that raker.
yeah. So I think they'll feel aggrieved having not got one over us in the last two, but I think there's absolutely no reason why we can't make it 3 wins from 4 against Dundee this season.
But I was actually about to ask you for a score prediction, but actually, I want to ask you, do you think we'll see any youth players coming? By youth players, I don't mean like random guys. I mean, like, do you think we might see Tate start? Do you think, like, James Wilson might get 10 minutes off the bench kind of thing?
Yeah,
Like,
I wouldn't be surprised. I think the obvious candidates that you're looking at are Macaulay Tate and Aidan Denham,
Mhm.
because they've kind of been on the periphery of the first team all season and featured well, regularly enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Naismith might be tempted to. Why not? If
I hope
he,
so.
yeah, if he foresees them as genuine kind of members of the squad, then yeah, they've got a good a chance of starting as any, I suppose.
Especially if what we think is the case and that Benny's away. It's like,
Yeah,
well, then play guys who are going to be here next season.
yeah, exactly.
Don't play Scott Fraser.
So Benny and Scott Fraser will definitely start.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Can I get a score prediction from you?
I will go 3-1 Hearts.
Oh, I was going to say 3-1 Hearts as well. Fucking hell, that's
Sorry to
rude that
steal
we're
your
that
thunder.
confident.
Well, shall we have a different scorer then?
I'm going to go Shankland hat trick.
Oh, okay.
He's
I
going to
I was
smash the 30.
I was tempted to say Vargas, but I'm going to go for Alan Forrest. I feel like one's due for
Nice.
Forrest.
Very nice.
So
Take that.
maybe a Shankland brace in Forest. I don't know.
Nice. I'd be happy with that, absolutely. And
Don't care who grabs the goals.
yeah,
Just
play
get
Craig
Gloucester beat.
Gordon. So it's probably he's like, because didn't he play him against Rangers? We'll get beat. Play him against Dundee, where we'll hopefully win. He can get his final moment of the season, just being like, yes, I played in a
The
win.
plodding all four
Yeah,
sides of
exactly. Yeah,
Tynecastle. Nice.
want that. So yes, before we go, as ever, we now have the quiz. Now, I said to Adam before we started recording, I've given him a few weeks at easy Who Am I's. I think this is a hard Who Am I, because when I was at Kilmarnock, lovely individual named Scott, apologies I didn't catch your surname, came up to me and said how much he enjoyed the podcast, and then out of nowhere just went, I've got a Who Am I for you. Now, I'm pretty sure we've never done this individual.
Oh God.
So, and if we have, / you hate this, I can't be blamed.
Yeah, Scott, whoever you are.
Yeah. So love it.
You got blood on your hands.
Exactly. But you might get it, and you might thank Scott massively for getting a hard Who Am I?
That's not going to happen. Let's just be honest.
We'll see. But before that, we have the 4 usual questions, multiple choice, 2 normal ones, and a true or false.
Let's do it.
So the first one is the multiple choice.
Okay.
Hearts have had a 3-season run of third, fourth, third, which is the first time we've had 3 consecutive top 3 finishes since which manager was in charge?
Okay.
Is it A, Jim Jeffries, first spell?
Okay.
B, Craig Levein, first spell?
Yeah.
C, Robbie Nielsen, first spell? Or D, Shaba Laszlo?
I'm pretty sure I read it's Jim Jeffries.
Is that your answer?
Yeah, I'm going with JJ.
A reminder that Adam is the one who runs the POTY Paisley social media, so thankfully he reads what he retweets as yes. Jim Jeffries is the answer.
I wondered where the hell you were going with that. It was
Anthony
Anthony
Brown.
Brown's tweet.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
I did see that.
I saw it because POTY Paisley has shared this on the Twitter, and I was like, right, let's see if he pays
Thank
attention.
God I paid attention to that. Yeah, that's unbelievable. If I'd have done the mental maths, I would have said that Robbie left halfway through his second season in the Prem.
Yep.
Jabba, I don't remember us being that decent.
No.
And Craig Levein, I'm pretty sure, led us to back-to-back third, but I don't think it was 3 top 4. Did he then go to Leicester?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you had got it wrong, none of the others even had 3 consecutive seasons in the top 4.
So thank God for that.
So, well done.
Why did
Question
that have
2.
to be the multiple choice? Why couldn't you just made that an answer on its own? Gone easier somewhere else.
Number 2 is just a normal question. As we say, Hearts play Dundee at the weekend, and we'll be looking to win, as we have done on several times this season. But who was the last player to score against Dundee for Hearts this season? So the last one in terms of the time of the game.
See, the obvious answer is Lawrence Shankland, but I think the Dens... Did we play them at Dens twice before we played them at Tynecastle? I think we did.
Right.
And in which case, Dexter Lembakisa, I think, scored the winner at Tynecastle. I'm going to go Dexter Lembakisa, but
so
please don't tell me that the Tynecastle game was before the Dens
game. The
game.
Tynecastle game was before the Dens game.
Oh, you bastard.
It was 10 days before. It was Lawrence Shankland.
Ah, so good.
Also, Dexter Lembakisa wasn't the last person.
Oh, he was the
night.
equaliser.
Yep, he was the equaliser.
Who scored the winner?
Vargas. Neuenhoff scored for the edge of the box.
That's right. He got the first.
Lembakisa scored.
Lembakisa equalised. Was it Vargas?
Was it? I'm finding out right now.
That's
Hearts
really annoying. That's
3,
terrible.
Dundee
I don't
2.
know that.
Yutaro Oda. What am I talking about?
Oh, of course it was.
It was Oda. But yeah, so that was on the 23rd of January, then the 3rd of February. So it was 10 days later. It was very close to each other.
Annoying.
Yes. On that day...
I would have got it wrong anyway. Yes. So there you go.
Alan Forrest scored, then Shankland scored a penalty that just went in.
And then
he scored a great goal. To make
that's annoying.
So, well, you've now got your true or false. And sticking with Lawrence Shankland.
Oh, God.
True or false? Lawrence Shankland is only 1 goal contribution away from 70 in what would be 92 games.
Jesus H. Oh, see the assists. I don't pay attention to the assists. I just want my goal scorer to score goals. I think, is he on 56 goals?
Yes, he is. I can give you that information.
So then I'm looking for 13 assists over 2 seasons. I think that's doable. I'm going to say it's true.
The correct answer is false because he's 2 away. He's got 12 assists.
You are a cruel, cruel man.
You've had easy quizzes.
I was going to say this was maybe easy. Who am I recently as well? It's just hard accompanying questions.
Yep. So yeah, he's got
What an absolute arse piece.
He's got 69 goals in 69 goal contributions in 92 games so far.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. So 2 to beat.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
he's 2 away from it.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's mad. And then,
The GOAT.
very interesting, my acting skills are clearly good from earlier in the podcast because Lawrence Shankland became the first ever Heart Midlothian player to win the PFA Scottish Player of the Year. And, as I pretended to not know, was only the second non-Old Firm player since 1990. But who was the other player? And I'll give you a bonus point if you can tell me the season he was awarded it.
It was Michael Higdon, wasn't it?
Correct.
In
what season?
2012-13?
Oh, he's got it. He's got the extra point as well.
Nice. I redeemed myself there towards the end. I'll take that.
He technically got 4 out of 5.
Not bad. Listen,
no, he didn't. He got 3 out of 5. Because I forgot you got everything else wrong.
Fine with that.
You got 3 out of 5.
Ahead of this solid Who Am I? I'm more than okay with that.
Right. Here is the Who Am I. Are you ready?
I think so. As I'll ever be.
I have played for over 20 clubs across 6 different nations. I have had over 30 caps for my country. I made my Hearts debut in an Edinburgh Derby loss as a substitute. My appearance in said derby was so bad it led to me receiving a mocking nickname. And at one of my former clubs, I won 7 trophies. Who am I? Thank you, Scott at Kilmarnock, for this. Right, I will get this man's Wikipedia page up.
God. Where do you even start with this? What, 20 clubs over what, 6 countries?
Over 20 clubs across 6 different nations.
I mean, how is that even possible? You have to move every year.
I can tell you, you pretty much did.
20 clubs. 7 trophies at one of my former clubs. Is this Tony Watt? he's just winning some at Celtic, allegedly. No, he can't be on 20 clubs, surely.
He's played for a lot of clubs.
I know, but 20 is a lot. Like I say, you would have to move pretty much every season. And Tony Watt does not have 30 caps for Scotland. And if he does, I'll be absolutely shocked. So it's got to be I don't want to say an obscure nation. It's got to be... I was going to say something terrible. I was going to say a cheap nation. something that brings it to Hearts. Oh my goodness gracious me.
You've got your 2 questions, use them wisely.
Exactly.
You need to use them wisely.
20 clubs, 6 countries. I've got to ask when they played to give me a rough idea. So, what years did they play for Hearts?
They played for Hearts in the 07-08 season.
Jesus, that could be bloody anybody. 20 clubs in 6 countries. Oy. What did you say about the derbies? Sorry.
So, there was 2 clues about the derby. I made my Hearts debut in an Edinburgh Derby loss, coming on as a substitute. My appearance in said derby was so bad it led to me receiving a mocking nickname.
Oh, the only person I've got in my head is Christian Nadi. It just
Okay.
can't be.
Do you want actually? I'll give you
Who-
even more of a clue with that.
Okay.
The nickname was a pun based around my surname.
Hmm. Oh. What nationality is this player, McIver?
This player is
Lithuanian.
Lithuanian.
Is it Benny Useless, or we called him Benny Useless? Is that who that
Well
is?
done. I
Yeah,
knew
nice.
I
Nice.
was thinking it's quite a big clue, but there's fuck all else to go off. So if you knew
Jesus,
that piece of
that's
information,
horrible.
yes, regard this Benny Eustace,
I
who
wouldn't have got
after
his
that
first name, I'll
derby,
be honest. I would not have got his first name.
we called him Benny Useless because we're
Benny
such an
Useless.
inventive fan base.
Don't
But
mind
yeah,
that, to be honest.
in terms of, I'm just going to fucking read you these clubs.
Go for it.
So, made his debut in 1999
Right.
for Inkaris Kaunas,
Yeah.
Baltica Kaliningrad. He then went back to Inkaris Kaunas for a
Okay.
different spell.
Right, okay.
Kirlia Sovitov Samara.
Oh, is that one club?
No, the two clubs. Kirlia Sovitov,
Oh,
then
uh-huh.
Samara.
Right.
Then Kirlia Sov.
No idea.
No idea if it's a runoff of that original
Is that the
club.
B team?
Yep, no idea. Then we're about to get one of the many Kaunases. In
Oh, God.
Caris Kaunas,
Yeah.
Start.
Start is the club's
Start
name.
is a
Right.
Norwegian team.
Okay.
Atlantis Klaipeda,
Uh-huh.
FBK Kaunas, Heart of
Hearts.
Midlothian.
Yeah.
Um, oh, fuck me. Lepagis Metallurgs.
I know all about Metallurgs boys.
Yep, they are a Latvian team. DAC Dununska Streda.
He obviously loved the maroon and white
Yep, he
flag.
did. A
Went to
Slovakian
Latvia.
team.
Oh,
Sudava.
Jesus.
Hapol Ranana.
Uh-huh.
Sudova. Very similar to Sudrava earlier on. Kroja Pakrojis.
These aren't even real teams.
I know. They are from Lithuania, from the city of Pakrojis, which I imagine I am pronouncing wrong.
That's 16.
Silas Kazlu Ruda.
Is that one team?
Yep, that's one team. He played 114 times for them, the most he played for any team.
Wow. Is
He
that
scored
who he won the 7 trophies with?
128 goals with. No, he won all the trophies with Kaunas.
Of course he did.
Yeah, he played 114 games, scored 128 goals.
Bloody hell.
What the fuck is going on? Then we're still going.
Wasn't he Benny Useless then?
No, he wasn't at all. What the fuck is the top level of Lithuanian football like? FK Salute,
18.
FK Panieres Vilnius,
19.
FK Saned Ioniskis,
20.
32 games, 44 goals.
Prolific.
Last year, he was at Tararis.
Last year? He played in 99.
Last year, he was at Taurus. And then this year, he's playing for FK Jonava.
Jesus wept.
Who is a Lithuanian.
How old is he now?
He is 44.
Bloody hell.
I'm going to assume the final three teams are amateur teams, but they've been listed on his Wikipedia, so I'm counting them. No, the team that he played for last year when he's 43 is a professional team in the third tier of Lithuanian football.
Jesus wept.
And then, yeah, the team that he won all the trophies at was FK Kaunas. He won, what was it? He won 3 leagues, 2 cups, and 2 super cups. Played 110
Amazing.
times. Fair play to Benny Useless, eh? What a boy. And thank you, Scott, for suggesting that. He got it.
What a player. Yeah, get up, you Scot. Have some of that. Didn't see that coming, did you? Suck on that.
Exactly. And let us know if you got it. Because if you didn't, then Scott can at least take pleasure in confusing a bunch of other people. It's fine.
Very, very true.
So if you did enjoy this, please leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice. It massively helps us out. If you've been watching us on YouTube, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Perth to Paisley on all the socials. perthtopaisley@gmail.com if you want to fire us over an email. Adam, where can they get you on all the socials?
You can get me on all the socials at Adam T. Kendo. And what about yourself, mate?
I am at DMcIver22. We'll be back next week to discuss all the fallout from the Dundee game and anything else that happens. But until then, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.